All right, for our first lens, we actually have the Canon 24-105, and it's actually really, oh my gosh. The lens fell off. Just kidding, it's actually for a drink, so, gotcha. Alright, so before we begin, every single product that I'm going to be showing in this video is going to have a link down below. So if you want to pick any of them up, make sure to use that link because it helps out the channel. Thank you guys, let's begin. Oh. What's up, Net Soldiers? Welcome back to another video. So this video is going to be a little bit different. Usually I do a lot more videos that have to do with entertainment, but sometimes I like to do tech reviews. And if you guys have seen my channel in the very beginning, that's how my channel actually started, as a tech review channel. So today I wanted to do the very best Micro Four Thirds lenses. And now this isn't going to be for every single one of my subscribers, and I realize that this is mostly for people who are just kind of looking for a specific thing for them. So for me, I have the Blackmagic 4K and I have the GH5, and I was looking for like the best lenses, pretty much the best bang for your buck lenses that aren't going to break my bank, but also are going to be able to deliver what I want them to deliver. And I think I did a pretty good job here. So I have a couple different lenses. There's going to be 6 different lenses I'm going to be covering in this video. So if you want to see more videos like this, I'm going to be doing more tech videos here and there. I will eventually transition into another channel, so it's, you know, keep my entertainment stuff like Star Wars and other type of movie review stuff I do separate from like my tech reviews. But for right now, I think that this should work. So yeah, we're going to do it like this. So I actually have 6 different types of lenses that I personally own. If you want to skip to those specific categories to see my reviews on them, go for that. I'll leave links to those down here, different timestamps. And there's a train, so I'll see you after the train. So I'm just gonna start because this train is taking forever. I just wanna start this video. So you guys know I'm actually 2 feet away from the lens right now, and this is gonna be my Panasonic Lumix G Vero, and this one is the 12 to 60 millimeters, and that's an f3.5 to a 5.6. This is kind of like your basic standard lens. I would use this probably if I was going to be recording mostly sports stuff. Like let's say you have a son or daughter playing a soccer game. This is like the perfect lens because you can actually zoom in and zoom out with it. So this is actually right now I'm at 12 millimeters, and as you can see, good space. Like I said, I'm 2 feet away from the camera, so it's pretty good. I would say this is like, if I was going to give the Micro Four Thirds like a standard lens, this is the standard lens. You know what I mean? Like there isn't really a standard lens beyond this. It gets pretty much all your bases covered. You have your mid zoom and you have your closer zoom as well. So this is actually close up, and this is far away. So as you can see, you get a pretty good amount of space. Let's see, is it gonna autofocus on me? Oh, is it autofocusing? All right, look at that. So I can zoom up on my face too. I look pretty good, don't I? Now this specific lens actually retails for like $325, but I found mine for $200, so you can definitely find deals on every single one of these lenses. Like I said, guys, this video is your best bang for your buck lenses. So I'm not gonna, there's no $1,000 lenses on here. Well, there is one, but we'll get into why it's on this list. But like I said, if you want a nice mid-zoom lens that's gonna work with a Micro Four Thirds, this is the best lens. I would definitely recommend it. And like I said, I find mine for $200, but I wouldn't be surprised if you look on eBay, you could probably find this bad boy for like $180 or even cheaper if you look around. So I definitely recommend this one. All right, moving on to our next lens. This one is actually the zoom lens, and this is probably the best one in my opinion, mostly because of the price. Now this is the Olympus M Zuiko. It's a 40 to 150 millimeters. So if you see how close it is on my face, it turns out I'm actually like 5 feet away from the camera right now. This is 40 millimeters zoomed in. It also has an f4.0 to a 5.6 aperture. And if you look at it, it looks pretty decent. I look pretty crispy, and it can zoom really far too. And it's only $100 on Amazon. So I would recommend, if you can find it cheaper, go for it. But this is a great deal. And if you get it new, you don't have to worry about it having scratched up or anything like that. So I definitely recommend this. Like I said, this can go from 40 all the way to 150 millimeters. There are further zoom lenses, of course, but they're usually more expensive, especially when it comes to the Micro Four Thirds. You can get like a Canon one, you can get like a Sony one, and you know, you get like the speed boosters and stuff. End of the day, if you want just Micro Four Thirds, make it as easy as possible, you know, body to lens, I would say this is your best zoom lens, and you're not, you know, paying like 500 bucks for it. So definitely a good deal. Okay, now we're moving on to my favorite lens, the one I actually use for the majority of my videos, because usually it's just stationary. If you're getting stationary shots from like maybe like 2 feet, 5 feet away, this is the best lens, 100%. It is the Sigma 17mm lens. And this one is, I call it like my bokeh lens. And the reason for that is because look at the background, bro. That's amazing bokeh. Now it is a fixed lens, so it's not like the other ones where you can kind of zoom in and zoom out. It's stuck at the, 16mm. I messed that up, my bad. And it has an f1.4, so that's a lot of light coming in that can really capture a lot of crispiness. And besides just the, the bokeh, like I mentioned, it's super crispy on the subject. And overall, it's relatively cheap, but it is one of the more expensive ones that I have found. It retails for $400, but I have found it for $324. In fact, that's the price I paid for mine. So it is possible, if you look on eBay, you could find this for even cheaper than what I found it. So I definitely recommend it. If I was following something, especially like if I was going to be doing like sports shooting or something like that, like I mentioned with the previous two lenses, I wouldn't be using this, mostly because you can't zoom in, you can't keep an eye on the action, and the autofocus on this, it's good. However, this lens isn't meant to kind of do that. This is like specifically a stills lens. The other ones, they could be argued as stills lens, but they're meant for pretty much anything. You can use them for videography, you can use them for photography. This one is specifically photography. However, as you can see, if you're standing in one spot, you're only like, filming one subject, it looks really crispy. So I love this lens. It's my favorite lens, and it's less than $400. Pick it up. So good. All right, now moving on to our next lens. This is the wide angle lens. Now this one is the Olympus M Zuiko Pro, which is a 7 to 14mm f2.8. And now it retails for $1,200, so that's actually pretty expensive for this type of video. However, I found mine for $700, and actually recently I looked on eBay and there was one for $550. So you can definitely get this as a great deal. There are other wide angle lenses like the is it the Laowa? The Laowa one was pretty good. That's a manual lens though. I wanted an autofocus. I'm an autofocus type of guy. I can do manual if I want to, but I prefer autofocus mostly, and that's what this one does. Perfect autofocus, a little more pricey compared to the other lenses, but if you want a wide angle lens, you got one. Now you might be looking at me, you might be thinking, that's pretty wide, right? However, I'm only 2 feet away from the camera. So you're thinking, that's pretty wide, but it's not that impressive. Well, guess what? This is actually the closest it can go. So I'm 2 feet away. You can see pretty much my entire body, well, my top torso anyways. But as soon as I zoom out, watch this. This is 7mm. Look at that. So you can really get a massive wide angle view here. My arms are stretched out like this. I'm 6 feet tall. As you can tell, my wingspan is probably relatively, the same. And look at this. You can see the tip of my fingers. This is amazing. If you want the best bang for your buck wide angle lens without breaking the bank, get yourself one of these. Definitely recommend it, 100%. They're amazing. Okay, so moving on, this is actually my macro lens. This is my newest lens. I rarely use it, but considering the price and just how cool it is when it comes to different things, I had to pick it up. Now, I'm actually about 6 feet away from the camera, so just to get me into this, you can see how much it zooms in. So this one is the Olympus M Zuiko 30mm f3.5, and it retails for $225, but I found mine for $190, so it is possible to get a better deal if you look around. But then again, $200 for this type of lens really isn't that bad. So like I mentioned, I'm at 6 feet away right now. If I back up, now I'm at about 10. It's still pretty decently zoomed in, but as you can see, this isn't necessarily meant for that. But you can use it as a regular prime lens if you want to, kind of. Am I in? Am I focused? Hold on. There I am. I'm not in the best light right now for this, but okay, it's finding it. Look at that. Okay, that's just impressive. Look at that. Now I have it legit like maybe an inch away from the lens, and it's just so crispy. Now, of course, hold up. It's gonna find me, I think. There I come. It's going. Oh, almost got me. Okay, yeah, it's gonna need a little help maybe. So yeah, this is like I mentioned. Oh, there I am. So this one's kind of like my Sigma lens. Like I mentioned, you don't use this with videography, right? You would use this with photography specifically. You're not gonna want to follow like a small like ant running around because it'd be impossible to keep it in focus. However, you could possibly do it if you want to try. A slower bug, or something steady in focus and kind of moving around as rotation, you could maybe do it. But I would recommend, most macro zooms are actually like this. They're meant for photography. But however, like you see, you can use it for videography as well if you wish to. I wouldn't recommend it, but it can be done. Okay, so this is my final lens, and this one's just kind of like your standard lens. This is the, I call it the close range lens, mostly because it is a fixed prime lens. It's a Panasonic Lumix G2, and this is for the 14mm, and it was the f2.5. Now, I actually got this free when I purchased my GH5 off of eBay, so it came with it, but it retails for $200, but I looked on eBay, you can get these bad boys for like $100. And they're pretty standard lenses. They're standard prime lenses. They're not supposed to have anything really specific to them, no like frills to it. They would work well if you just wanted to kind of film yourself. As you can see, I'm actually 2 feet away from the camera, and you can pretty much get all of the information in this, this footage. So I think it looks pretty fine. If I don't have bokeh, I want to be able to zoom. And that's the nice thing about the 12mm to the 60mm compared to what I have here, is because if I want to zoom, I can zoom. And as you can see behind me, there is bokeh, but it's not as good as the bokeh you're gonna get from my Sigma like I showed you. So at the end of the day, it all depends on what you wanna do. This is like a still photography lens. However, you can still use it for video, specifically if you're just gonna do like this type of thing. Just kind of talk to the camera, me, camera, and then the lens, of course, to film me talking. Because if I wasn't talking to the camera, I'd be talking to myself, and that'd be kind of lonely. So there you go, guys. That's kind of like my first net tech in a couple of years. I kind of want to be doing more stuff like this, even I'm just kind of explaining my technology, you know, my thoughts on certain things coming out as far as the technical world goes, not just in photography, but also video games, stuff like that. So if you want to see more videos like this from me, let me know in the comments below, and remember to like, subscribe. But like I said, I'd like to do my own video review on the Blackmagic 4K camera, as well as maybe the GH5 if you want to see that. I also have my Bird scooter right there. Hold on, let me get it. See, right here is my Bird scooter. It's pretty awesome. It's just an electrical Segway with the name Bird on it. So it's pretty cool, I like it. I also have the hobby of electric skateboarding as well, and that's one of my favorite things to do, so maybe I'll do a video on that. So, and like I said, guys, at the beginning of this video, everything featured in this video is actually going to have links in the description below. So definitely go check it out. If you want to buy any of these type of stuff, it actually assists my channel if you do that. So I'd appreciate it. Don't have to, but I'd appreciate it. But thanks again for watching, guys. I love you. I'll catch you later. Peace.